Welcome to Knoxville, Tennessee, my home city, and the unlikely American setting for Rick Yancey's action-packed adventure about a teenage hero named Alfred Kropp, who is truly larger than life, and who at the beginning of his story tells us, "I never thought I would save the world." All right, so before Alfred Kropp can get on his real adventure, he's just a normal kid living here in a house like this with a family called the Tuttles. They're his foster family here in North Knoxville, Tennessee. And he goes to a local high school where he's a freshman. He struggles with math. He has a crush on his little math tutor, Amy, referring to her twangy East Tennessee accent. And he, on encouragement of his uncle, joins the football team, which he should love given the football worshiping city we're in, and also the fact that he's a big kid. He's a naturally big, but you know, guys like Alfred Kropp and like me, I can attest, we big guys don't always love to play football, and that's certainly the truth for Alfred. Alfred Kropp is an orphan who comes to live here in Knoxville, Tennessee with his Uncle Farrell. Uncle Farrell works as the night watchman at the largest building in Knoxville, the building behind me, which is fictionalized as Sampson Towers in the novel. Mr. Sampson, who owns the building, keeps something very special in his office: the sword Excalibur from the English legend of King Arthur. This location sets the scene for the first swashbuckling set piece of the novel, in which shady characters like Mr. Myers, who seek to use the Troy for evil, are under attack by a group of rogue figures, historical figures, who come out of the past in order to protect the sword from those who would use it for evil purposes. So Alfred, lonely in his crowded new foster home, kind of seeks refuge by coming down to the old city at night, which is where we are now. Visits local restaurants, coffee shops, and just tries to escape. And it's actually here where he's going to meet the man who's going to change the course of the book and the rest of Alfred's life. This is Bonacio, the last knight of King Arthur's Round Table. He is meant to protect Excalibur, and together they start from this location in Knoxville, Tennessee, on a worldwide chase for Excalibur and to restore peace to the world together. So here's my classroom library, always a work in progress. And here's Rick Yancey's novel, The Extraordinary Adventures of Alfred Kropp. To my teacher friends, this is where this book belongs. To my students, it is right here for the taking or reading. Alfred's adventure is a mixture of the types of popular entertainment we all love. It blends the familiar worlds of everyday American teen life and the road movie with eventually the jet-setting joy of spy action movies and danger of the Bourne Identity movies or Mission Impossible, the high-speed chase elements of like a Fast and the Furious franchise movie. And running through that is this magical element that's familiar to us with the kind of the legend of King Arthur that we know, and feels something like Harry Potter, especially in some of its messages about good and evil, and also the sensationalism of violence. This novel actually really has a lot to say about violence and weapons. I'll read a piece real quick. Let me ask you something, Bonacio. What's with the sword and daggers and bows and arrows and medieval stuff like that? Aren't you knights allowed to carry guns? There's nothing that prohibits us. Then why don't you? It's mostly a matter of pride. You may think otherwise, but guns are far more barbaric than swords. There's no elegance to firearms, Alfred. He smiled. Besides, our way is more fun. I'll be honest with you, Bonacio. I'm pretty shaken up right now. I know this sort of thing must be normal for a knight, but what happened back there freaked me out a little. No, not a little, a lot. You go to the movies and you watch these guys in car chases and shootouts and you think, hey, I could do that. I mean, you sit there in a dark theater and you kind of wish it was you up there taking out the bad guys, but it isn't like that in real life. Though this whole thing is starting to feel more like a movie than real life, which is weird because I'm starting to miss my real life, even though it sucked. I'm not sure how much farther I can go. So Alfred learns a lot through his adventures with Bonacio. Mostly he learns about himself. Like a Jason Bourne character who's kind of missing an identity. He's kind of like a kid without an identity, an orphan, and he's trying to figure out how to get back to his true identity and who he is, and you know, kind of through the double crossings and the misdirections in the plot of the book and the fun of the book, and through all this action, Alfred learns what it means to be truly extraordinary. And I just think this is a good message for books, for a book to have for young readers. For those these kinds of lessons, this book has a home here in my classroom library. It's because it's just a good read for middle grade students, even high school students, and especially reluctant male readers. I think this would be a great book, a great way to get and it's a start of a series too. So I think it would be a great way to get a reluctant young male reader into reading. I often have boys that just don't know what to pick, and this would be a good thing for them to start with. So this is a book that will be on my classroom library shelf as long as I can keep a copy of it.